So rather than just talk about this theoretically, I am going to put Jim from Lending Loop, who's a broker, and then Matt from 10th Avenue, who's an accountant, on the spot. Because what I really wanted to do in this session was to not only just sort of talk theoretically about what we're doing, but also so you can actually hear from the horse's mouth how this works. So Matt, I'm going to throw to you first. So just by way of a brief introduction, so Matt Connell is an accountant and financial planner who's based in Newcastle. His firm specialises in small business and SMSF transactions, and lending is a key component of his remit. So Matt, I'd love to hear from you why you've chosen the reciprocal or the referral partner relationship with Jim from Lending Loop.
I think Steve hit the nail on the head when he said that, a lot of accountants don't have a massive opinion or don't see a massive pool of work from lending, but we identified that it was certainly an important component of our advice to our client base. So we wanted to become involved in the process. So through NLG, they take away the hassle and also the uncertainty of selecting brokers to partner with. And they give us that extra tier of management where if we need more brokers or we're unhappy with the broker potentially that we're dealing with, I can go to Steve and Steve assists us in resolving that issue. But importantly, across our client base, we might go for a period of time and not get any need for lending referrals and hence have no demand for a broker at all. And then we might come into a period of time like we're coming into now, where we probably need 3 or 4 people to refer to. And so it takes away from us that need for consistency in that particular market, because obviously we specialise in other areas of the client's life, but finance is still an important part of it. And we feel the need to be directly involved in applying for and selecting finance. And that's what the referral partner process with NLG gives us.
And I think you raise a really interesting point in terms of that partnership model can really work with the different stages of your business. So you can either, increase that referral network or decrease it as the workflow permits. The other thing that I found really interesting with your model is that you've set up such a strong virtual presence from day dot. And initially when I was considering that referral partnership, I was thinking that initially it might need to be sort of more in that face-to-face or in the same office environment. But I know that you, Matt, you've done that really successfully and really well in more of a virtual capacity.
Yeah, so we have a very strong preference on dealing with our client base virtually. Given the last 2 years, that's probably not such a great surprise to anybody.
But you were doing that beforehand, I think you were saying.
We were. We have a diverse client base over the whole of the Central Coast and Hunter Valley. So to individually meet with all of our clients face-to-face is not practical. And so we will do the nuts and bolts of most transactions virtually. So we have all of our accounting software, all of our financial planning interactions, everything is geared towards it being 100% virtual, and we have those face-to-face meetings when appropriate. And so that allows us to maintain the footprint of our business, but also to maintain a very strong relationship with our clients as well.
Okay, great. And then from your perspective, Jim, being the broker that Matt's referring deals to, I know that you mentioned that you receive sort of quite regular referrals from him. How do you feel that benefits you and your business?
Well, it's an extra source of revenue, obviously. It's more work for me. Matt's referrals are generally pretty strong. Which is good for both of us, and when he refers, well, I help his clients by finding the right solution, we can determine which lender we should go with, what the client actually needs as far as lending goes, and find the appropriate solutions for Matt's clients to keep them satisfied that that we're working to the best solution for them.
Yeah.
It's beneficial to both of us from a revenue point of view, but it's also beneficial to Matt's clients that they're working with someone who's fulfilling the need that they're after.
Yeah, and I think you raised an interesting point that the quality of the lead, the vetting of the lead, and the specific type of finance, I expect would be expedited coming from an accountant's perspective, opposed to the regular due diligence that you'd need to do for a lead.
Yeah, well, obviously it's helpful because it's a strong lead because it's coming directly for them from the accountant.
Yeah.
And it allows you to work well with the client, knowing that the accountant has referred me to the client, which gives a level of trust to the client.
Yeah, absolutely.